It's that sweaty season.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I know. You gotta keep talking, buddy.
Is that super loud?
You gotta keep going.
Hold on. I gotta.
You're cranked up, I'm guessing. Fix it.
Wow. Holy. Balls.
What's the matter? Did it throw you off that bad?
Yeah. It's like I'm bleeding from the ears.
I'm concerned if you don't keep talking, you'll get pulled off of YouTube.
Sweat Equity Podcast. Pragmatic entrepreneurial advice. Dick jokes. We're getting in the game. We're getting there. 6 inches in front of your face. You want a business phone line? Grasshopper. Try grasshopper.com/sweat. Yeah.
Keep going.
Get in there.
Do all of them like
Get
that.
your gauntlet in. Get that gauntlet. Get those. I want to see you running. Your helmet's not a chair. Fucking take a knee, bitch, because you need to get FreshBooks. Go freshbooks.com/sweat. And we're blitzing at you with some eyewear, sunglasswear. Warby Parker, warbyparkertrial.com/sweat. These all hook up the show. If you want to, our production services, Sweat Equity, Sweat Lodge Studio services at sweatlodge.studio, not .com, sweatlodge.studio, and any digital agency strategy, any execution. You got to have a game plan. Got to have a playbook.
You're going to die. You need to take a
Tokobaga.
breath.
TOCOBA.GA. Let's get this motherfucker started.
Oof,
What about my sweat equity?
Yeah.
Sweat equity.
You wanted it. You
I
got it.
wanted it, and I got it.
My sweat equity.
Howdy toddy.
What? Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?
Hashtag girthy ROI. Hashtag 69B2B.
Hashtag take a knee, bitch. I like that.
Yeah. That's Adam Carolla's podcast. Take a knee. We're hashtag to his stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Might as well.
That other voice you're hearing, Eric Redinger, the best up-and-comer.
Do you know how to actually say my name for real?
Redinger.
Okay, you do.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. That's even worse.
I practiced
you
it.
do know.
Yeah, I known it forever.
That's
Now I do have to autocorrect in my brain. My brain still says Redinger.
fine. That's weird.
Well, I mean,
I do get that, but like that most of the time, Redinger is the go-to.
yeah.
Soft G. We're not soft.
Once
G.
your
We're
daughter
hard
your daughter
Gs.
corrected me when she was like 3 or 4, and I was like,
Jeez.
oh, wow.
I know, which is weird because like I don't even care. Like,
No,
I
but
really care people
when your
mispronounce
daughter
my name.
corrected me, I remember it distinctly, and I was like, it was before you were even like hanging out in here.
Yeah.
It was like I was at y'all's house, and she's like, actually,
Just to be
it's like-
clear, sir, come
She
into
goes,
our house.
behind the glass, John Paul Walbody. Is
Oh,
that how you say it?
Bobbledy.
Walbody?
Mic's off. Oh my God! All right, cool.
His mic's off.
I think so.
Didn't we just have a conversation?
I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
so.
sorry.
He turned it off.
Don't forget Sam and me.
Producer extraordinaire. There's Sam Gant, friend of the program, creeping in the back. Great. All right, so what are we talking about today, buddy?
Wow. Well, before we hit up the mics, when is it acceptable to Irish exit? This is important.
Okay.
You can't do it in a business meeting. Otherwise, you're pretty badass if you do.
I've tried it in the corporate world.
Really?
Where it's like a bunch of guys doing stuff, like setting up like an expo sort of thing, where there's a lot of in and out.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna run this over here, and just, I ain't coming back. I'm going to my hotel room.
Oh, yeah, trade show.
Or it's just like that's where it's a bunch of guys standing around looking to make stuff important.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't really have one guy could do it, but they're all like rearranging everybody's stuff just so my marketing plan is better with this. Move out of the way.
Oh, yeah, I call that put your stank on it. You got to put your stank on something so you're important or valuable.
Right.
When most of the time, I don't know if that actually works when you're one of those kind of guys.
I don't know. I mean, it's just like,
It-
or you have to make like a thing happen to remember that you were working on it. Hey, does anybody know the part number to this thing? Like yell it out, you know, like while you're doing something,
Oh, just to be.
just to get that mark.
I guess top of my marketing. I guess like it's almost like internal remarketing that you're valuable.
Yeah, exactly.
The way I would perceive it.
What it is.
I guess, but I mean, like, I don't know. I think about that servant leadership stuff we talked about a while ago. It's just like get it done and if that's not seen, it's not gonna. Nothing will be seen.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
I wasn't doing it.
Right. Well, I mean, but like being like, hey,
Yeah.
did Frank get that done? Okay, cool, he did. He
Or
did.
how
Well,
about exactly.
it was like
Bossing people
you
around.
didn't do anything. You just sound like a
I put
buffoon.
this whole place together with my voice.
Right. So I think you had a good way of breaking down.
Oh, so
We're
like
talking
in
about
a
Irish
social
exit.
situation.
Yeah, we're talking about mostly house party, dinner party. I think you had a better way to define
I
or
think
qualify it.
well,
by number.
I think 12 or more people, you're not required to say goodbye. They're not going to notice you're gone, but if they could fit at a dinner table, you should probably at least say goodbye to most of them.
Yeah, I say dinner party. You have to say goodbye.
Yeah. But you could still do like a stand up at the table, wave, hey, all right, I'm out. Yeah, I get home and
Is the echo from? Are you hearing an echo? Or is
jump
that
all
coming back
turn.
in?
Yeah. God damn it. Turn your mic turn your thing off.
You're good. It's okay.
Oh,
I'm just hearing
Jesus.
that through the headphones. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I guess so.
I
Is
didn't
this
know.
our worst show ever?
No, I didn't know.
So far, so bad.
I fucking started this thing real awesome.
That's
so-
true.
No, this is important. Irish exit, right? Dinner party, you got to say goodbye,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, for sure.
No matter what. Plus, you probably brought something, you know?
Uh-huh.
And so, good
You mean
rule of
as like
thumb
a
is just
gift?
take something on the way out. Of equal or lesser value. You brought a bottle of wine
Family
for $20.
picture,
Yeah,
You know,
that's your frame.
grab one of their shoes.
That's just the way I roll.
Yeah.
That's a dirty Irish.
Eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Eye for an Irish.
But I'm saying, just go in there, go in the bedroom, take the wife's,
Get a jar of peanut butter.
sure. I was gonna go panties.
I know you
Either
were.
way.
That's why.
Either way,
Steered it into the kitchen.
equal or lesser
It's
value.
rude.
It's rude to take panties or peanut butter.
That's bad.
Just an Irish goodbye in general is kind of rude.
But is it though? Over
Okay.
12 people?
Now we went to the extreme example of over 100. There's 100 people at a house party, right? That's a big party.
Yeah, that's come and go as you please, baby. Nobody cares.
What, do you have to make an announcement to everybody, like a formal announcement?
Yo, give me that mic.
Yeah.
Everybody listen up. I'm leaving.
Hey,
Doesn't have to
stop
happen.
dancing and stop singing to shout,
Right.
which is like white people's like they go crazy for shout.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know that.
Of course not. That's weird.
Okay, so
Okay,
we got to
then
find that
Where's
line.
the line, John Paul? You're gonna be the
Well, I don't
manners
have,
police.
I mean, tons of friends. So anything I go to, there's like 10 to 20 people at the most. So I mean, I'm gonna say bye to everybody.
That's for not having a lot of friends.
We'll be your friend.
You see, you're a dick.
I'm one of your friends. It makes it more valuable to only have a few friends, I think.
Probably better.
Yeah. You want to have. You can't have more than like 10 real friends. Because like if you're a friend, you know what's going on in somebody's life. You can keep up with them and whatnot.
I'd say I have more than 10 good friends, but
Mr. Popular.
or just obnoxious. I don't know. I am the guy that will call a lot of people that I hadn't talked to in a while, and check in. see
We
what's
get
up.
it.
Yeah, I'm very thoughtful.
Yeah,
No big deal.
We get it.
Is it a white person thing?
The
'Cause I
Irish
feel
goodbye?
Like a lot of cultures have extensive goodbyes,
Well,
handshakes, and whatnot.
Well, I don't hang out with non-whites, so I mean,
I just don't
you're
understand.
not really asking me.
Like, why are you so worked up over it? Why are you thinking it's so rude? I mean, do you really care?
Hey, Irish as white as you can get. I get. Yes.
I mean, if you're at my house, I'm just glad you're gone. Just get gone.
If you're
if
playing
I
a
don't
game of
notice it right
spades,
away, then
like you
good,
can't just
fine.
Irish exit that. Obviously,
yeah.
I'm thinking there's an over/under number, right? It's got to be 12,
Yeah, that's what I think the number is.
and
No
it's
matter
good.
what John Paul says.
Then you're gonna have to depend on what it is. You're doing a 16 league fantasy draft. You can't leave. You can't Irish exit that. I mean, you can, but you can't.
Try me.
Right. I mean, you're gonna get all kickers or something like
Oh, you're talking about leaving the actual draft itself.
right.
Yeah, well, that's just stupid.
Kids-
Good. You should do that. I hope you do that if you're in my league.
100
Idiot.
people at a quinceanera. Yeah, by
Idiot.
all means,
Yeah. Nobody's.
spin move out of that thing.
Hola. I'm out of here.
Oh, you couldn't have said that.
I know what I said.
Wider.
No.
Hola.
I know what I said.
I say quesadilla. Quesadilla.
So I think we figure it out.
I
Did we
think
figure out
12.
the number.
I think
Good.
12.
All right, let's etch it in stone.
Here's the other one. Punctuality is a big thing for me, just in the professional world,
Yes, of course.
or just in life, really. Now, I don't have a zero tolerance rule for being punctual.
No, I don't either.
Here's my thing. Like, if an invitation, I've fought with my friend Brendan T. Gleason about this for maybe 10 years.
Okay.
If someone sends an evite for a barbecue at 2:00, he will show up at 2:00. And I go, that, like, first off, in LA, you should never do that. Like, just alone, everything in LA
You
is
don't even
45 minutes
deserve
later.
to go to the barbecue if you show up on time.
Right. A
You're not cool.
barbecue, never, like Thanksgiving, never.
You want to help set up? Get there when they tell you to get there.
That's what he says. He goes, yeah, I'll just help out. But if they say 2:00, I'm going to be there at 2:00. I'm like,
God, he sounds like a really nice guy then.
no, he is. But I'm saying like that, even you could be the nicest person ever, and you can help out a lot. Like you somehow made ice out of you had ice in your car ready to go. Because that's the one thing I try to bring to a party.
Yeah.
I try to check, you need ice?
That's never have too much ice.
Right. And so that's a good cheap man, thoughtful move.
Well, nobody wants to carry it.
That too. I don't care because my clothes are gross
'Cause I'm
anyway.
jacked.
Well, yeah, I'm ripped.
Yeah.
I'm doing traps all
Right.
day, and so I walk up and I just do shoulder shrugs with it.
No lateral delt raises with the 10-pound bags on it.
Couple curls in there too.
Oh, okay.
You know.
I bet your friend says goodbye.
Depends how much he drinks. Honestly, if
Touche.
we call him Bob, Blackout Brendan, he's not gonna say goodbye. He will be the last person there too, though.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Lingerer.
Well, no, in a fun way because he's blackout.
Oh.
He's a fun blackout.
Sleeping.
He's like laughing at everybody's jokes and stuff, like that kind of fun.
Oh,
Blackout.
that's good.
Yeah, he doesn't like get in the way. It's
Yeah.
not like, oh, I barfed.
He's not
in
a
your pool.
chore
I
waiting
barfed-
to happen.
Yeah, I peed in your kid's race car bed.
Yeah.
Or
You
anything
need
like-
to get me food or I'm going to kill everyone here.
No, the rare like blackout drunk that's good. I'm just saying like he definitely says if he's sober, yeah, for sure. But blackout, anybody's game. I'm saying being punctual isn't a zero tolerance thing. I think being 15 minutes early is a good rule. It's the college football rule. I'm really into football season right now, as you can tell.
Right.
Right. Yeah, but I'm saying like I try to live on that rule, especially if like you're doing like someone's doing you a favor. That's the one that really gets me.
Yeah.
Right? You're late, and then like
Yeah.
indignant about
Hey,
it.
can you
and
meet
someone's
me to
doing
help
you a
me
favor?
move this
Right.
mattress?
Right.
I'm going to be 20 minutes late.
Right.
Okay, cool. I'm here. Sit in my car, I guess.
Yeah. Which
Wait
isn't
on
a
you
big
to
deal
do this
now.
chore that you want me to do.
Now that we have cell phones, not as bad, right? But I give a margin of error. Like, look, 2 times in a row, not a big deal. 3, we got a pattern.
Mhm.
3, we got a winning streak. We won 1 game. We won 2. We won 1 yesterday. That's 2
What?
today.
What?
We win 3. That's a winning streak.
What?
I'm pretty sure that's the line.
Yeah,
Pretty sure nailed
pretty
it.
much nailed it.
But like my thing is like, all right, now we got a pattern going on.
For sure.
It's happened with me in here for sure. But you guys, I always apologize or at least try to, and be like, oh shit, I'm running late. A 20-minute text, I'm running 20 minutes late.
I feel like I can kind of like get a feel on somebody's punctuality based on their personality. If like I
Yeah.
know them before.
Yep.
And it's just like, I bet I'm gonna need to plan a little bit extra time for you or less time or whatever.
Yeah, and sometimes if we're doing this early in the morning, sometimes it's a while back.
Yeah.
It'll be like I'm gonna wake up 5 minutes before we have to be here and run over here.
But again, like, for us, there's very few things that are like, you have to be here at this time. Like we have a much more flexible situation.
At the same time, if I'm meeting you here and I know you're here on time, I don't want to be late.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. I do get like anxious, and I feel like there's some people that just don't.
Yeah.
Doesn't trouble them at all.
Yeah, that's odd.
It-
That it's just like what freedom you
People
must
are
have.
not planning that they have to park. Like that part is crazy to me too. Is like people come to this office. We're in a little bit of a urbanized area. It's not hard to park if you were
It
worried
takes
about
a minute.
if you're not from the area. But look, pad it for about 10 minutes maybe. So yeah, that's a 25-minute kind of
Yeah.
get there 15 minutes
It's not
early.
my
Pad it
Google
a
Map
little
says I'll be there right on time.
Right.
Yeah, your car will be.
That's the other thing too. I was trying to write a joke today, just just an easy Twitter joke.
Mhm.
Get ready. I see your finger.
I'm
I was
ready.
trying to figure out how to write it. I couldn't do it, but like I just love the people that are trying to find the play. They get really mad. This is a stranger in another car. They're slowing down traffic. They're looking for the address of someplace. You can see it.
Yeah.
You honk at them, and then they do the huh
Yeah.
with the hand up, and
Right.
you're like, "What? You're the one. Pull
yeah.
over."
Right. Exactly.
Like map quest it before you leave, man.
was that the that was
That's the
jo-
premise. That's
that
all I
was
could.
It'll get better.
That'll be a closer bit, probably.
Another 15, 20 years of stand up. You'll get it.
Sad. It's been about 15 years. Yeah, that's sad.
It's not sad.
A little bit.
Okay.
But punctuality, it was on that list of like, here's the 10 things that don't require any talent,
Yeah.
and it's true.
Yeah.
One would
it's-
say I would call that a talent, considering how many adults are like children and can't do it.
Right. And I think the anxiety thing is what it's what drives me to be on time.
If you work in digital, though, I almost have no excuse because you can literally do work at any time.
Yeah.
And I will be the guy with the laptop open in a weird spot waiting for a meeting.
Yeah,
I
you
go, I
gotta
can't
be.
get Wi-Fi, and you go, okay, do as much as you can do without Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I'll try to think go as far as I can into a project without Wi-Fi, because there's a lot of stuff you have to do before even hitting whatever.
Yeah, if you're
website
doing
or app.
anything design wise, you could do that all day
So-
right there. You don't need the internet for that.
I never understand that, but that's what this show's about: being able to bitch about stuff
Yeah.
that I can't talk about to strangers
To the late
or
people.
professionals.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, it's there's reasons for it most of the time, but
it's like spatial awareness or smell awareness. You bring nasty
mean
food
proprioception,
into a kitchen. What is it? What did you say?
spatial awareness is proprioception.
Proprioception?
Ception, it's like
Ception?
the ability of your body to know where it is in space.
Oh,
So like I know my proprioception tells me I'll reach out and like touch this thing here,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this much space. It's
dads.
related to
dads get
athletics
good at it.
sort of thing. Yeah,
It's like,
dad's catching kids,
right.
that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're aware. Like if you had older brothers, I feel like it's a lot better because they're always trying to mess with you.
Right.
So you're like,
Yeah, you're
I
on high
feel-
alert all
I
the
feel
time.
Zeke
I can
creeping
feel
around the corner.
somebody go. Yeah, but I mean, just because you were going to go there where it's like physically, some people don't know. Like if you're clumsy, your proprioception is not as good. You don't anticipate the
that
floor being there, that sort of thing.
that I don't get either. The clumsy thing where you're like, I'm just a clumsy person. You're like, maybe you should work on that.
Right. It's
I think every female I've dated has walked into a door frame, like an open door frame, like half their shoulder hits it, and they're like, and I start laughing because it's funny.
and
they're like,
people
"That's
you
not
weren't
funny."
involved with romantically. Of
Yeah,
course,
but no, but this intensifies
'Cause
with
of
everybody.
the implication.
What? No, I'm
Nothing.
not saying anything. I'm saying throughout my whole life. I'm just saying like that has been a fight I've had with everybody I've ever dated, since I was 4th grade or whatever. They walk into a door frame, and I've never seen guys do that and cry.
I've seen my parents have a friend who's walked into the sliding glass door when it's closed
Oh,
like
that's funny.
5 times.
Oh,
And it's funny every time.
Yeah.
Gets louder every time.
like a bird.
Just no, it's like a dun-dun. It's a big like screeching thud.
That's
Everybody stops.
that's funny no matter what.
Oh yeah, and
that's
the
right.
older he gets, the funnier it is.
The sadder too,
Yeah, kind
a
of.
little bit.
I just didn't see it.
But I'm saying like the spatial awareness. I used to think about Southwest flights, and you're like, okay, look, you don't have to be a hot flight attendant anymore. Clearly, I'm fine. Fine with that.
Obviously.
I'm fine with that. Whatever. Here's my rule: if your ass touches both sides of the aisle, going down the aisle.
Maybe you should
Like-
be ground crew.
Yeah, maybe you
Maybe
should
you should be throwing
maybe
them
you should
bags onto
be
the back
throwing
of
some
the,
flags
you know,
around.
Yeah. You should be the one have work it off down, baggage handling, and then you lose some of them LBs you get on the plane.
Maybe you're the thing. You're the cattle call lady when you're like, all right, everybody in section A, come in,
Right.
line up.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not ready to be in flight
Yeah.
because literally I've had that. There was a period where Southwest was like, we don't care at all,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you should have to fit your ass in the luggage thing. The little like
Right.
diagram. If your bag doesn't fit in this, there should be like an ass one. That you know what? Honestly,
For the passengers too.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, it is crazy. You ever see a picture of Andre the Giant sitting on an airplane in like 1978?
He gets a pass.
He easily is taking up 2 seats. It's not even close.
Yeah.
And really, the seats are not huge. Like, I'm not comfortable. Like, I'm not a huge guy, but I'm not comfortable
But
after a 2-hour flight.
I'll make the case for the big passenger. They don't have to go up and down the aisle necessarily. The flight attendant, to do that job, you have to be doing that.
Yes.
So, like, look, I'm just saying.
You don't need to be
It's-
scraping your velvet jean dress thing along everybody's ears.
Look, I got a big ass, but it ain't wide. It's not a wide ass. It's
Nice
just a
and narrow.
bulbous.
Yes.
Brazilian women compliment it. That- Exactly.
Mhm. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's a nice big rotund.
Yep.
Rotund buns. Anyway, let's get into some other stuff. Nextdoor app. Do you like bitching
Yes.
about stuff in your neighborhood?
Yes.
Well, do we have the app for you?
Yeah.
It's called Nextdoor. Anybody who's had this, you have to. This is one of the few apps that I think is a little bit more legitimate in the sign up because they send you a postcard a la Google My Business.
Right.
So you have to verify it that way that you're in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can work around that. And there's probably people that have scammed that, but
It
for
seems to be
marketing,
pretty accurate. I mean, really, having that address, get it physically would make sense. Because I mean, the only people that need to worry about really is businesses. If you're trying to squeeze in somewhere you don't belong.
well,
I
look,
don't know what creeps are doing it as a regular
Facebook
person.
groups are kind of getting molested in that kind of way. Facebook groups, there's a big way to market your business that has been going on for 3 or 4 years probably, where these groups are almost set up for the initiative to get businesses to advertise in there. They're not paid through Facebook. They're paid like you have a group.
Sneaky.
Yeah, we have one called South Tampa Swap or something where people just post. It's like a better Craigslist essentially. There's thousands of people in it, I think,
Yeah.
and that one I don't know necessarily that actual group, but the owner of that group may allow people to pay her to put in ads for
Yeah,
whatever
that's
business.
weird. And really, I mean, can the owner of the group determine placements of like the posts or whatever?
Yeah, you curate
don't
the group.
remember.
We should have our own sweat equity one where people can ask questions. But I mean, it takes a lot of time to curate these things. Like,
Yeah.
so what happened is I think those started initially as a good thing. Facebook devalues pages, right? Over the last 5 years, big
Mhm.
time. So groups, though, every time someone posts something in a group, your default notification is to get a notification anytime.
You
So-
think somebody liked your photo? Nope.
right.
Just somebody's talking about something that has nothing to do with you.
They hit that world icon. Ooh, someone talking about me? Nope.
Yep.
And
Nope.
now if you look on the mobile app, they have it as its own little icon on the bottom, right?
Yep.
So clearly they've shifted their incentive for users. We're going to get back to the Nextdoor app. I just kind of want to finish this thought that I think like there's a lot of people that had groups that were opportunistic when people started hitting them up, right? And now people create groups to almost as a guise to get this kind of money going.
Yeah. Why do you think they're going to? Why do you think Facebook is pushing groups? I'm just trying to like think about the money trail.
Because it's more interaction, because it keeps people. The biggest thing for apps, if you remember Silicon Valley show on HBO, remember when they're making the app, the number one thing you want out of an app is daily active users,
Right.
right? And if Facebook's losing people, the younger generation a little bit more, they'll go, okay, we're going to focus a little bit more on groups because those are building communities, more interaction, right? And then Messenger, they spend a lot of effort
Yeah.
into, right? So,
It's like perceived localization almost.
well, they're keeping you there.
Yeah.
Now you have skin in the game. If you like a page, it's not the same thing as liking a group because
Yeah.
group you're more involved.
Yeah.
So I see the interaction level goes up a little bit.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So you check it every day,
Yeah.
right? Because
Okay.
people are posting. Plus
Devious.
Google wants you to create content on the reg all the time, and they're incentivized. Facebook's still incentivized by local search because when you search for stuff, sometimes Facebook groups pop up.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more content you create, Google wants you to be a content machine.
Mm-hmm.
So thus more interaction, more fervor in these groups, the better. Plus pages were molested for political campaign stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Right? They would somehow, I don't know how you do this, but some of those companies would have like puppy love and they would be a puppy page for forever and have a million likes. And then the next day it would be like Black Lives Matter or white cop shooting black guys and just create that fervor.
Wow.
You
And
didn't
then,
know that?
Well, no, not really. That they
Yeah.
were just changing the names of it, and then to what benefit?
Because this is like
Is
the
this like
conspiracy.
Russia?
Yeah, this is like
doing so
right.
they're trying
So
to
Russian-
manipulate it to make it look
people
more.
think Russia they used ads, but they didn't do it in a way you think. They just created fervor to create like chaos.
Yeah.
That's the theory I'm rolling on because that's the most likely.
Yeah. When you see a lot of it, it's like very almost gentle pushes in the directions that they want,
Yep.
and it's crazy how it just snowballs like exactly how they would want it to happen.
Right. And it's not vanilla stuff they're pushing. It's like we say about stand up. If you go up on stand up and I go, I'm going to talk about my friend Eric. He's an okay guy.
Yeah.
Like that's not interesting.
Right.
So it doesn't get more, comments.
Yeah.
So that's like middle of the road is the worst.
Yeah.
So there's that documentary that Sam in the other room, she's told me to watch. I've tuned into it a little bit and it's all about that. Follows
What's it called? The Great Hack.
The Great Hack. Yeah, on Netflix.
Yeah. My wife was telling me that. She's like, I want you to watch that with me so you can explain what's happening.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Because like even that
I have to though, so I seem smart.
But well, yeah, I want a gold star.
I'll pre-watch it. Take notes.
Well, but even that, you're not gonna like. I'm gonna watch that, and I'm going into it biased that I know I'm not gonna get all the information I want out of it.
Right. Yeah.
And
There's
so I'm
always
already
that
kinda
bias.
like,
Yeah.
Eh.
I really don't even know all about what it is.
There's someone on Rogan's podcast that kind of laid this all out. Raina, I think it was her last name. Like in the last 3 months, really interesting.
Okay, I'll check it out.
So there's that. Let's go back to Nextdoor. So again, creating communities. Nextdoor. Nextdoor is Ring.com's trying to follow Nextdoor too. I see that
Ah, yeah.
because I get like someone stole my Amazon package
It's-
off my front
Yeah,
porch.
it's really interesting how it's working out that it's like all these people just have their cameras up voluntarily, like you can pretty much, I think you can
ours isn't on the. I don't.
No, I'm not saying
yeah.
like around here. I'm
But
just
some people. Ooh, it's like the Dark Knight.
Oh god.
They're triangulating.
Yeah, where he has his magic VR machine that tells him right where everybody is.
The bat sonar.
It's the only ding in that movie.
Oh, what? What are you crazy?
More dings?
What? It's a perfect movie.
Oh, okay. So you're going 0 dings.
0 dings.
Okay.
Except for there is 1 ding. God damn
You mean dong?
it! I wish. You keep
Next
going.
door is good, especially when you have like a literally like a storefront or like something localized. Like for us being Forest Hills Dental, it really helps to have the location specified and you just being able to say, okay, that one, they're near me because it'll push it more towards it. And like, we really haven't even done much with Nextdoor.
Yeah.
And
So,
like people engage with it without us doing anything.
so you got to look at the people that go on there. If you're a local business, this is something to do for your business, it's a little thing, right? I would call this flex time, something to do at night.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're just kind of dicking around, it's like 8 or 9 at night, you know, but you want to do something a little productive. You just don't want to get too intense. You can do this like people, it's like a toilet game almost. I would look at it like, right?
Yeah.
Because you can hop on for 3 minutes, see if anybody's looking for dental practice in your area.
Right.
What I used to do is I consider it like it's like being altruistic for a minute, because I always like referring businesses to help out, right?
Yeah.
That before I got in any marketing referral groups or any of that, I was always that way. So in a way, it felt like a little bit of business karma. 69 B2B.
Yeah, we should. I don't know if we really described Nextdoor's
yeah.
interface. Just it's much more like kind of Craigslist, sort of like I'm looking for somebody to paint my house. Do you know anybody, sort of thing. And I think you have to be, like we said, like
you have to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you have to be in the neighborhood. Like you have to get verified. You don't get signed up for an account because there's like different iterations of it. Think of it as like a Facebook group. They're all grouped together, and they kind of have their own groups that they'll assign you to, but you can't
But
be
better
in more than
validated.
one. Right.
Yeah. And so
Which makes it nice.
and you can't like really market like any other platform because there's not like a way for a business account to go in there and just get in every neighborhood. I'm sure they might have an ad platform now. I haven't been on it in a while because I'm in an apartment building. I don't
Yeah.
need it. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of it's like, hey, there's been a weirdo when I lived in if you look at the Seminole Heights serial killer, when I lived in that neighborhood,
Yeah.
that was helpful.
Yeah.
Because people are like we're trying to deduce almost in a message board.
I mean, it would be if they opened it up to be able to have penetrated these neighborhoods. It kind of defeats its own purpose of that
Right.
localization. So you'd think that it would
By preserving that.
It should stay that way, but
So
who knows?
And
with
look, people
Monday.
can get around it. I could get.
Newsflash, asshole!
So here's the way to use it. I would say if you have a local business, spread the love and go in there. Go in there for your own whatever. If you have something for your community, but if you see, like, I used to like kind of go around and see if anybody's asking questions. Hey, I need this or I need this. I'd be
For
like,
starters, get your business on there, set it up, and
is
get
it
verified.
so
and
you
all.
can list it on there, right?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
I didn't know if it was like verified through Yelp, like Apple Maps will do, or something like that.
It was a verification. I forget what it was, but
So now they have your own separate one to get verified on there. That would make sense. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Because they need to make money. I don't know how. Like after a while, it's a nice idea, but how does that thing generate money?
Yeah. Well, I think there is advertising, but it's kept in the little tight area.
At any rate, if you don't have any ad budget, though, this is a free thing you can do to push yourself. Refer other businesses and friends that you have in the area, and if they get business out of that, they're gonna be like, "How? What?
Right.
Oh, who?
Yeah.
How they?" And they might get on there and do
Pay
the
it
same
forward,
for you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that good 69 B2B karma.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely go on there and help somebody. It doesn't even have to be your own business. Refer somebody else. Boom.
Yeah,
Just get on there.
a lot of people are like, I need insurance for whatever. A lot of homeowner stuff, a lot of like trade stuff. I need a contractor. I need a
Right.
plumber. I need all these things. So
Tons
it's
of
like,
I need the trusted tradesman.
right. And that's kind of the community we used to have back in the day, right? You used to have a block party and stuff.
Right.
Now we don't.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of is filling in that void.
My neighborhood still does it.
Yeah,
They have little block parties
you guys are
a
like
couple times a year. It's a good
you
neighborhood.
guys are like an Edward Scissorhands
What up,
community.
Lake Ellen Woods? Mm,
You throwing your neighborhood out there?
okay.
All
Okay,
right.
who's gonna come see me? You got anything else,
That's it, man.
John Paul? Thank you, buddy. You don't get to talk though.
You both should
What
be on
about
there.
my
Welcome.
sweat equity? Sweat equity. Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
What about my sweat equity?